Hi everyone, I'm Thomas Weimbs, the president of Santa Barbara Nutrients.
Hi, and I'm Melina Messing. I'm the scientific director of the Ren-Nu Program, which is what we're here to talk about today.
Yeah, let's talk about Ren-Nu. What does Ren-Nu even stand for?
Renal Nutrition.
Renal Nutrition makes sense. Ren-Nu. Okay, good. Got that out of the way. And who is it for?
It is for patients with polycystic kidney disease who are looking to improve their health.
Okay, so polycystic kidney disease, meaning autosomal dominant polycystic kidney disease, the adult form, the common form, which I happen to know someone at this table who has it as well, right?
Yeah, I have it, and I was told my whole life that's genetic and there's nothing I can do about it. But turns out there's actually something you can do about it, which is taking a nutrition program such as Ren-Nu and learn all about what a healthy lifestyle means and how to, feed your body the nutrition that it needs to not develop all the cysts that we all know happen with polycystic kidney disease.
And you've done it yourself, right?
Yeah, I've done it myself a few years ago. Ever since, I've never looked back. I've been living that lifestyle ever since, and it has really changed my life and my health and also my family's health. It runs in my family, and they all are doing this lifestyle too, and they also feel much better and have successfully slowed the progression. So it's really, really exciting.
Good, awesome. Yeah, so I think there's over 200 people with PKD have gone through it already, and I've heard many, many stories just like Melina's, which gives us confidence that this actually is a good thing. All right. So, PKD is a progressive disorder from, all the way early stage to end stage. Who is this, the Ren-Nu program for then amongst those?
Right now, we're targeting people with stage 1 to up to 3, just because stage 4 is very challenging, and changing nutrition quite drastically at that time maybe should be, under the supervision of a medical team. But stage 1 to 3, I think this lifestyle works really well. And this is the group we're targeting right now, but we're also looking to do research to be able to include the stage 4 eventually as well.
Great. So mild to moderate stage of PKD, and the diet. What are we even talking about? So it's a nutrition and lifestyle program. So changing diet.
Yeah, I don't even like to use the word diet anymore. It is really a lifestyle, and it's the main focus is to take out all the harmful things out of your diet and replace them with whole nutrient-dense foods. And when we talk about harmful things, that are some of the more obvious ones, like, for example, sodium. We all know sodium for kidney can be challenging, but also carbohydrates, and not just, fructose and sugary candy, but actually all carbohydrates are lowered in this program, and we're aiming for a ketogenic approach, metabolic therapy to treat this disease.
Good. All right. And does the program provide food?
The program provides guidance on which foods to eat, and then lots of recipes and guidance on how to measure if you're doing the diet successfully or the nutrition program successfully, by measuring your ketones, and also watching over what else you're taking in every day by measuring your food. So we provide all of that guidance, and then the participant is going out there and getting the food that we recommend.
Right. So don't expect a box of food every week or anything like that. That's not it, right? So it's essentially, teach a man to fish kind of thing, right? So they can fish for the, eat for the rest of their life.
Yeah, at the end of this program, you should be able to go into a grocery store and make really informed decision on what foods are really good for you, healthy for your kidneys, support your, health journey towards better health. So that's really what we're aiming for.
Good. Well, I guess there's one thing they do get in a box, which is a medical food. Do you want to say something about that?
Yeah, so the program is supported by KetoCitra, which is a medical food produced by Santa Barbara Nutrients. And it's the only medical food out there for polycystic kidney disease. It provides, kind of broadly speaking, two things. On the one hand, you get extra ketones with taking this medical food. So it supports, get your energy levels throughout the day and provides that ketone that's anti-inflammatory and brings down the inflammation in your body. But then it also, at the same time, normalizes urine pH and helps prevent harmful buildup of some of the substances in your kidneys that can accelerate disease progression. So it's just like, I like to think of it as a safety blanket for your kidneys that you just can bring along with you. And even if you can't make the ideal food choices, you always still have that, little safety blanket with you and can feel good about the choices you're making.
Good, yeah. So is KetoCitra included in the price for the program?
It is, yeah. If you decide to become a participant, you will get KetoCitra for the whole program, which is for 3 months. And after that, we hope you stick with it and, become a subscriber of both this lifestyle and KetoCitra. I have done this since like 2 years ago, and as I said, I will never look back.
Good, excellent. Yeah, so the fee for the program, which we like to call tuition, right? Because it's really like
an educational program.
You learn something, right? And the introductory fee, I think, is $950 right now. And it's a 3-month program plus 1 month onboarding, so kind of 4 months, if you will. It includes a 3-month supply of KetoCitra, which I believe itself would normally cost like $400 something. So that's already included there. Good. All right. So 3-month program. Do the participants have to go somewhere? Is it on the ground anywhere?
It's all remote, so that makes it really accessible for everyone. And it includes both an educational component that is pretty much self-paced. The participant can decide at what speed they want to go through all the various educational components that the program has. But then we also have live sessions and one-on-one guidance by dietitians throughout those 3 months at various time points. So there is some hands-on guidance as well, in addition to learning the educational, parts of the program.
Good. Yeah, super. And, by day, I'm a professor at a college, so I'm kind of used to teaching things. And so I'm thinking of this really as a college course, like a quarter worth. We're at UC Santa Maria on the quarter system, so it's a 3-month thing. So this tuition, is there going to be homework?
The homework is as much as the patient really wants to put in. Of course, there's homework just in the thinking about all the learning about how to rearrange your kitchen so that it works for your lifestyle, and having those conversations with your family members so that they're all on board, and really not just consuming the educational content, learning about what ketosis is and what the foods are that you should eat, but then actually also going out there and actually living the lifestyle. So the homework, it will feel like homework at the beginning, but the hope is that eventually it just becomes habits that you don't even have to think about. I don't have to think about my diet much anymore because it's just become habits, and I've rearranged my life around this lifestyle. So that's kind of the idea.
Good. Yeah. So I would say yes, it's homework. Yes. Because it's you got to do it yourself. You got to do the hard work at home. And I think we're going to have a point type of system, when somebody, goes through the weekly modules and answers some questions correctly, they get points. So I don't know if we come up with a grade at the end. We'll see. All right.
We haven't all figured out the details yet, but...
Right. But I think everyone should graduate from it at the end with improved health and a much, much better understanding what they can do themselves.
Yeah.
Good. There will be office hours, just like a college course, office hours, weekly. Everyone is welcome to come, ask questions, and get them answered.
Yeah, I'll be there probably at every office hour. So if you have had any questions and you want to talk to someone who knows the science, but also a patient who has gone through this themselves, then, that's a great place to go.
Super. And so there'll be weekly modules on different topics. What are some of the topics?
Well, they're the basic, introduction on your macro and micronutrients, all the way to, more complex topics like oxalates and what they mean for your health, and the microbiome and what that means for a PKD patient's health. So there's a bit of a range of, introduction to basic concepts all the way to more the in-depth science behind all of the different foods that are good or bad for you. And that's in a nutshell, I guess.
Good. Yeah. Yeah. So you learn all about carbohydrates, what even are they, sugar, starch, this and that, what foods are high in carbohydrates, how to even read food labels to figure out, you're in the grocery store, thousands of things on the shelves. How do you know what's high and low and what has food additives in it and how to find that out and so on.
Also, how to interpret your labs. We're going to go over that, which will be very helpful because, as patients, we know we have to get labs all the time, and often we don't even know what they all mean. So we'll go over that as well.
That's important. Well, speaking of labs, so everyone who goes into the program also has a doctor, right? Oftentimes a kidney doctor, renal doctor, nephrologist, maybe a general practitioner, family doctor. So I think it's important to say that the program does not replace medical care, right? So everyone stays with their doctor, and prescriptions, for example, right, they always are prescribed by the doctor and maybe changed by the doctor, and hopefully de-prescribed, meaning you get off of those prescription drugs. So that means the doctor has to be on board, and it's really kind of like a triangle, right? So the patient, the doctor, and then the Ren-Nu program as the educational component. Good. All right. What are some of the prescriptions that many patients can decrease, after they, have gone through the Ren-Nu program?
Yeah, I would say the two most common ones are blood pressure medications, because just the nutrition that we're teaching just reduces blood pressure just without even, you don't have to do anything else. And then the other one is pain medication, which is really exciting and really important for PKD patients, just because a lot of the pain medications are already harmful to kidneys. So reducing them is good for that. And then also overall quality of life just increases because you're no longer in pain anymore.
Good. Yes. And we've seen this many, many times. Blood pressure goes down, which means the doctor has to keep an eye on that and say, okay, take half the dose and then, take a quarter of the dose and stop the dose, that kind of thing. Good. Okay. Excellent. So what would somebody actually need to have in order? So I'm guessing a laptop or a mobile device.
Laptop or mobile device will work as long as you can connect to us somehow. Probably just what you need is, Wi-Fi, a stable Wi-Fi, and then you're good to go.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Otherwise, it can be started anytime, right?
Yes, we have rolling enrollment. And whenever you're ready, we will send you an interest form to see if you qualify for some of the criteria that we have. And then after that, you're ready to go.
Yes. Yeah. So everybody has to kind of qualify. So it's not for everyone for sure. But that should get very clear, at the very beginning, before anyone signs up. Good. Okay. So when can people sign up?
So we're currently basically redesigning the program, but there is a wait list already. So if you want to sign up on the wait list, you can do that today. And then we're hoping to have the program start up within the next 3 months. So we will then be in touch about the actual start date.
Good. And I think we'll stay in touch anyway between now and then with more updates. So stay tuned.
Maybe a little sneak peek of what the new version of the program will look like.
Excellent. So one question that always comes up is, people say, hey, I'm a meat eater. I could never stop meat. Hey, I'm a bread eater. I could never stop my bread. I love my candy. Oh, I'm a vegetarian. I couldn't do this. What's the answer to that?
Well, we meet people where they are. We have on the team various health coaches that are familiar with all kinds of different dietary approaches, and we're not a program that's strictly only animal or only plants. It's going to be a mixture, whatever works best for you, as long as you can meet the specific targets like getting into ketosis and it's generally aiming for whole nutrient dense foods. But it's not a strict one size fits all type program.
Right, very flexible. Maybe the one thing that doesn't really work is if somebody is a strict vegan. That is almost impossible to do, I would think. So I think a strict vegan would probably need like some one-on-one coaching. So this program, like we said, is not really for everyone.
Just because of there might be a lot of supplements that are needed just because it's very challenging to get all the nutrients in just from a vegan diet.
Right.
But we will have experts on the teams that can also help out if someone is vegan and has questions for us.
Okay, good. What to do if a doctor says no and just says, I don't want you to do this program. This sounds crazy. I'm going to quit on you if you sign up there.
Well, in my experience, unfortunately, nephrologists just are not up to date on what really works for people with polycystic kidney disease. And the nutrition approach is really powerful. And, if you don't have a supportive doctor, it is important to find someone who is supportive and not quit on this program or quit on just changing your dietary habits, because it is, to this date, the strategy, the preventative method that has the most impact for PKD patients. So this would be one of those instances to not listen and actually go with what the most current science says.
Or educate the doctor.
Educate the doctor.
Send them papers. We've published plenty of papers. They are written, with high academic standards. So a doctor should be able to read them and draw their own conclusions. Maybe before you give up on your doctor, send them a bunch of papers and say.
So, you can ask them to get in touch with us. We're both scientists. We're not, we're educated on the topic. I'm a patient myself. My whole family has done this approach, and it is really working. And there's lots of other patients who have found the same thing. And we are more than happy to talk to your healthcare team about what this program is, all the different components, what the science says, the most recent science. And also we have clinical trials ongoing that will, add on top of the existing evidence as well. So this is a science-based approach that your nephrologist should learn about. So, and it should be in their best interest to know exactly what their patients need.
Great. Speaking of science, maybe last question. Science means testing outcomes, looking at long-term outcomes, having parameters to look at. How are we testing the Ren-Nu program right now?
The Ren-Nu program is tested in actually different countries and in collaboration with different universities around the world, and patients are recruited and as part of a clinical study, and they do the program, they take the KetoCitra, and then it's the outcomes such as adherence to the diet and pain levels, blood pressure, and of course kidney function are monitored over time. And then that leads to long-term outcome data that we then eventually will publish, in addition to all the short-term stuff that's already out there.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So a big study is already in full swing in Tokyo at Juntendo University, led by Professor Horia there. The first patients actually coming up now against the 1-year mark already. So we're hoping to have some interim results that can be published. But it's going to take a while until, all the 200 patients have been recruited, gone through the study until the very end. And we're looking at things like kidney function, of course, total kidney volume by radiology, all kinds of parameters of, safety, feasibility, and so on. And I can only say so far it looks like the patients have a great time in the program. So I don't believe anyone has really quit or given up or, exploded or anything like that. So they're all doing fine.
That's good.
Right. Great. So, all right. I would say stay tuned. Watch for more updates. Sign up on the waiting list if you're interested. There's a newsletter sign up. You can also sign up there. Great. Thank you, Melina.
Thank
all right.
you.
Super. Bye, everyone.